No, this is a 1 hour yoga practice, a gentle led practice. It's morning here, beautiful spring morning, but you might be watching this, following this practice in the evening. So it's a suitable wind down practice as well at the end of your day, or a gentle waking up practice. So begin in a cross-legged position, take a comfortable seat. So you can sit, I've got here a blanket, folded blanket. If you've got a brick, you could sit up on a brick or a pillow, bolster, whatever you have available, just to give you a little bit of height so that you can lift up from the base of the spine, get a nice tall seat. And then bringing your hands underneath your buttocks, just widen your base. So pull the top of the back of the thigh out. Pull the buttock flesh out. And then see that you're seated evenly on your sit bones, not leaning forwards or backwards or more on one side than the other. So be even through your seat. And then bring the hands alongside the hips, be on the fingertips and draw the spine up, lengthen up from tail to crown. Ascend the spine upwards. And then bring your hands to Namaskar Mudra at the chest. See that the chest remains broad and expressive, open, expansive, and that the shoulder blades move forwards and into the back to provide a lift and a support to the chest. And now slowly lower the eyelids down, the upper eyelids down, and take the gaze within. Go for a few cycles of breath. Connecting to your breath, so taking your mind's eye inwards and be with the gentle flow of breath, not allowing the mind to wander here and there. Just noticing the movement of the breath in the body, the touch of your seat beneath you, becoming calm and quiet for the practice. And we'll recite the sacred syllable Om together. Let's take a deep inhalation. Om. 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 Lift up the chest. Exhale to bow the head. Surrender the brain to the heart. Salute the divine light within. Release the hands onto the thighs. Inhale, raise the head and open the eyes. Okay, and now you can stay seated where you are. I'm just turning so that you get a clearer view of the action that we're looking for in the back. Now you're going to stay on your seat. If you're up on a brick, it may be more comfortable for you to bring your hands onto height. Yeah, so if you're sitting on something taller than a blanket, then have something a little raised to bring your hands onto. You're going to be coming forwards. Yeah, or alternatively, you can just come off the brick and sit on the floor or sit on a lower support. But you should never bring the hands, when you bring them forwards, lower than the feet, lower than the seat. So if you're sitting on some height, the hands should be on equal height. Okay, so I'm lifting my palms up away from the floor here, so I've got a little bit more height, and I'm walking the hands forwards. I'm on the fingertips and I lift the head, look up, look forwards. Take a couple of breaths here. Try to keep the upper back moving in, the dorsal spine moving into the body. Try to maintain length on the front body from pubic bone to breastbone. And then you can take the head down towards the floor. Release the head down. Use the exhalations to soften the groins, to soften the hips. And then lift the head, be on the fingertips once more, cut the upper back in, and then sit up. Okay, now we'll be going to the side. I'm wearing a very thick jumper, so I'll just remove that so that it's easier for you to see the action of the back. So now you'll be walking your hands around towards the right leg, bringing the sternum over the right knee, arms wide, take the head down. You're trying to be even through the back, so that left upper back, can you wrap that left upper back down towards the floor, so that you're level through the shoulder blades. Can you keep your left buttock anchored down, glued to the floor? Then reverse yourself back and go to the other side. So align the sternum to the knee, descend the thighs, and then come up. Okay, now change the cross of the legs. Adjust your seat. Now, sometimes the ankles can be a little resistant to this forward bend. So you can place a blanket underneath you if that makes it a little softer, a little more easeful for the feet. I like to turn the soles of my feet upwards, so that the ankle joint is a little bit softer. So I'm rolling the metatarsals so that they face down towards the floor. And then again, forwards, lift the chin, cut the upper back in. So firstly going for a straight spine, lifting the breastbone up. Keep the buttocks rolling back towards the floor. So as if I've put some tent pegs down the back of your leggings, hammered them into the floor or your shorts. And so that's stopping the buttocks from lifted up. The buttocks stay down, and then take the head down towards the floor. Work with your breath. Don't hold the breath. So sometimes it can be really uncomfortable. The second side tends to be our less preferred side, and it can be uncomfortable, but see if you can work with the exhalations to bring softening, to bring freedom. And now inhale, lift the head, be on the fingertips, cut the upper back in, and bring yourself back to upright. And now we'll go to the right side, coming all the way down. Release the head down, release the sternum over that right leg. Keep the upper back level, balanced. So if I were to put a spirit level on your upper back, the bubble would be in the center, not careering up to the left side. And now walk around this time and take the head down. And you keep that right buttock lengthening down, that left sitting bone, lengthen it down towards the floor. Good, and then come up. There we go. I'm waking up now because it's still quite early. So let's do Virasana. Now you'll need to have some support, especially if you have knee issues or if the quadricep muscles are tight, bulky, then height is definitely advisable. I've got a blanket here. For some of you might need more, so better to be conservative about what you need than try to force the knees and the thighs to do an action that they don't like. So I'm coming onto all fours. I've got the support behind me, between my heels. I'm coming to all fours with my feet out to the sides. Feet are out to the sides, and I bring my hands behind my knees. So my fingertips are actually wedged right here, right into the back of the knee here. And with that, I can make a bit of space and softness at the back of the knee. And then I take my calf muscles wide and out to the side and lower myself down. So the calf muscles, the belly of the calf, is, I'm wearing black leggings, so it's difficult for you to see the definition, but if that's my calf muscle, and I'm moving it away from the sides, the outer thighs. Yeah, because the belly of the calf is quite bulky, and that can stop us from landing the seat so easily. So I'm moving that out of the way, and then I pull my buttock flesh back, pull the buttock flesh back, and settle into the pose. Now, if you feel a bit of knee pain, knee niggling, better to take additional height. Yeah, don't think that, oh, maybe it'll just go away. I'll sit here for a time and see if it goes away. Any knee pain, take more height, because the knees, they're not so forgiving. Okay, now if you look alongside your thighs, look at your feet, and just bring your fingers to your big toe. And can you pull your big toe away from your fourth toe towards the outer hips? And then just do the same, go for each toe in turn, and just separate the toes out a little. So you're fanning the toes away from each other, creating space between each toe. Even the little toe, can you pull that out to the side and make it grip the floor? Have a go. And then you can make little knuckle fist and bring the fist to the ball mounds of the feet. So just that cushy padding just beneath the toes, and push down there with the fists and lift and lengthen the spine up. So you can use that resistance of the knuckles on the fleshy pads there to grow the spine long, to lengthen the sides of the trunk. Don't let the shoulders come up. Roll the shoulders down and back, and lengthen the neck up. And feel that anchoring through the front of the ankle, the foot, the shin bone, the whole shin bone. Good. Okay, and now interlock the fingers to the webbing. So I'm taking my fingers right in there so the web of the fingers meet, and take the back of the hands onto the top of the head. So I'm right on the crown of my head here. And cut your elbows back towards the wall behind you, like a butterfly flapping its wings. Cut the elbows back. And then, as if you've got a heavy weight now, heavy sandbag on your palms. Maybe imagine a few bags of sugar on your palms. And with that heavy weight, take the arms up, take the palms up to the ceiling. So you won't be able to go quickly. It's going to be a slow, controlled action. And that weight is pushing down on the palms, making the upper arms move strongly back towards the body. Slowly ascend up. And you can see for me, one of my arms, this one, it wants to go faster than the other side. So can you bring parity between both sides? Slowly stretch up. Slowly stretch up. Feel the density through the arms. Keep the abdomen soft. Smooth, steady breath. Lift up. Good. Try not to push through the base of each finger. Try to be more with the heel of the hand as you stretch up. And then release. And come down. And change the interlock. So you'll go with the other little finger. You'll switch now. And then once more. Back of the hands on the top of the head. Heavy sandbag or heavy bags of sugar on top of the palms. And cut the elbows back. And keeping the arms in that plane. Slowly lift up. So you're resisting into that heavy weight. When you reach the full extension of the arms, can you maximize the lift on the side trunk? Lift the side trunk up without the buttocks lifting. Grow taller and taller. Keep the breath flowing. And then release and come down. Good. Now, just a caveat that I should have given earlier. You know, if you can't sit in a kneeling position at the moment, you could also do these arm exercises on the chair, seated on a chair. You can do them during your working day, yeah, to bring some relief and movement to the shoulders. So not it's not just that you can do these arm poses kneeling, you can do them any time. I've got crows playing on the roof. Okay, we'll do Gomukhasana. Now, if you can stay kneeling, then do stay in a kneeling position. But if the knees are becoming uncomfortable, you can slowly bring the legs out and stretch them forwards to give a relief to the back of the knee, and then sit in cross-leg position. So, but if you're happy to stay kneeling, then stay kneeling. This is just for those people for whom it might be uncomfortable to stay in Virasana, in hero pose. Okay, so now you're going to take your left arm out to the side and turn the palm back. We'll be doing Gomukhasana. Turn the palm back to face behind you and sweep the hand up the back. So you're bringing that left arm towards the nape of the neck, the fingertips of the left hand towards the nape of the neck. And you're pushing the back of the hand into the upper back so that you get more lift and expression through the top chest. Can you, in your Gomukhasana position, the downward arm, can you lengthen this collarbone towards the shoulder tip? So from the, you can even bring your finger there to trace it. From the center of the collarbone, you can trace the collarbone to the corner. Now, not to let the arm roll forwards. Can you roll that shoulder back and get length here through the collarbone? And lift the chest. Yeah, sometimes it's necessary to bring the other hand behind and give that lower arm a little scooch along. Help it up. Good. And then release and take the arm wide out to the side and then down. Okay, other side. Take the arm wide, turn the palm to face back and swoop the hand behind the back. Little fingers, fingertips facing towards pointing towards the nape of the neck, and roll that shoulder back. Broaden from the center of the collarbone to the tip of the shoulder. Lift the chest. Good. And then take the arm wide and release. Okay, so now we'll go to the full pose. So you'll take again your left arm out and wide, sweep it up the back, and then the other arm. So we're going to do the halo approach, where you describe a circle, you describe a halo, like an angel's halo around your head, to bring the other arm round and clasp. Okay, so you're holding from above. So have a go. So left arm is up the back, right arm describes a halo, clasp. Good, and now what tends to happen with this raised arm is that the elbow points back, turns the body. So you want to keep that upper arm, the elbow pointing straight up towards the ceiling, and roll that upper arm in alongside the ear, not to let it go this way to the side. You're trying to use the muscles of the arm itself to roll it in so that the inner armpit moves back. Smooth, steady breath. Keep both shoulders level. Yeah, try not to pull the left side down. Send both sides up evenly. Now, I forgot to say, if you can't quite clasp your hands, it's okay to hold your t-shirt. I'm wearing a tank top here, so I don't have the fabric to hold, but you can hold your t-shirt, the fabric of your t-shirt. If you've got a belt or a rope, you know, and it can be a clothing belt, doesn't have to be a yoga belt. Any length of fabric, maybe a very long ribbon will do. You can hold the belt instead. Okay, now release your arms and take them wide to the side. Broaden the chest, extend to the fingertips, and then we'll go to the other side. If you need to come out of your asana, if you've been there some time, you can do as I showed before. coming to swastikasana, cross leg position. Now again, you're going to swoop the arm back. So you're doing like a sort of Kylie Minogue dancing video. Take the arm back and hold, clasp from behind. And now again, not to let the arm splay to the side, not to overstretch the armpit. Don't allow the armpit to be pulled too much open. So this is a wrong action. Elbow straight up and not this, this. So sit back into your sit bones and let the abdomen go back, floating ribs go back. So you're maintaining the integrity of the spine. Sit tall. Good. And then release and stretch the arms wide. And then you can bring the hands back to the lap. And then bring your legs forwards and out into Dandasana. So extend the legs forwards. Press the thighs down towards the floor. Sharpen into the heels, lift the chest. All right. And then we'll do child's pose. So we are just, it's a gentle class, gently waking up the body, taking our time through each phase of the pose. So for child's pose, you're going to sit back on your heels, big toes joined, knees apart, and you can bring your hands underneath the head of the shin to lengthen the skin on the head of the shin towards the knee. So what you'll notice when you do that, if you didn't feel it, you can do it again, is how that makes the whole front of the shin really rooted, really grounded to the floor. And even the front ankles, they open up a little with that action. And then you stretch forwards and take the head down. Now, if the buttock, when you lean forward, the buttock is up in space somewhere, then you can place a blanket, a roll blanket, or maybe a foam pad to bridge that gap. And again, sit back. So you want to feel that the buttocks are anchored down on the heels, and so that the spine can extend fully. The spine needs a fulcrum from which to extend. The fulcrum is the buttocks back. Try not to have the hands too narrow, so keep them as wide as the mat. Arms a little active, so the forearms lifting away from the floor, palms spreading. Take a few breaths here. Release the tops of the thighs down. And now, with an inhalation, lift the head up. Lift the head up, look forwards again, check the hands. So see that the fingers, all 10 fingers, are symmetrical to one another. They are on each hand. Index fingers pointing the same way, middle, fourth, little. Just check and then lift the buttocks up. Separate the feet and go for downward facing dog. Pull the kneecaps up, pull the thighs up and spread the back of the legs. Keep the breath flowing and even. Try not to let the weight fall towards the hands. So push yourself back towards your legs. Stretch the back up towards the hips. Often we want to watch our progress and we look back to our legs, and in doing so we dig the chin towards the chest. We try not to do that because it makes it more difficult to use your arms to push you back to the leg. So instead keep the ears in line with the upper arms so that the whole back lifts up towards the sit bones. Good, and now step forwards. Have the feet generous distance apart, so hip distance, or even as wide as your mat where the hamstrings are tight. And now, if there are lower back issues, it's better to be in a concave back position, i.e. not to go all the way down. So you can either have fingertips to the floor and lift the chin if your lower back is uncomfortable, or you can hold the back of the legs and keep the head lifted. If there's no back issues, then you can go down, keeping the legs straight. Try not to let the legs bend. Okay, so keep the hamstrings pulling up away from the back of the knee towards the sitting bones. You can hold the calf muscle with your arms and bend the elbows wide, or take the hands alongside the feet if the hands can reach the floor with straight legs. And then let the head go. Let the crown of the head face down so that the neck lengthens. Keep the legs very firm. If the hands are on the floor, don't hold yourself back with your arms. Let the elbows bend so that the trunk can descend. And then bring the hands to the hips. Inhale and come up. Okay, so I'm going to adjust the camera so that you get a little more view for sun salutations. So we're going to do now a few rounds of sun salutations. And we're going to be using a modified approach, a gentle variation of sun salutations. So come to the front of your mat, I'll guide you through. Be in Tadasana. Now I have limited space here, I'm in a little shepherd's hut. So I have, wall in front of me, not such a high ceiling. So you might need to modify slightly how you take the arms up, how you swing forwards or back into each position, but you want to see that the whole length of the mat can be utilized, so no props in the way. And make do if you need to adjust in your space. We'll make the best of the situation that we're in. So be in Tadasana, feet together. Extend the arms down, establish a firm Tadasana. So spread the soles of the feet, draw the kneecaps up, draw the thighs up, and try not to let the thighs swing forward. We're always with the front of the body. Yeah, be a little more back, more towards the heel side, and find out what quietness that brings if you feel a little more composed. Inhale, take the arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, swing forwards, Uttanasana. If you can bring your hands to the floor, do, otherwise hands to the back of the legs, as we were doing before. Now bend the knees, bring both hands down, and big step back with the right foot. Bring the right knee down onto the floor, and lift the chin, look up, look forwards. Now I'm letting the abdomen rest on that left thigh, and I'm cutting the left groin down to the floor. Look forwards. And now both hands down, lift the back knee up, step the left foot back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Lift the hips up and back, tighten the knees and thighs. Inhale, come forwards into a high plank. Chaturanga Dandasana, if that's available to you. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Breathe. Step both feet together. Big step forwards with the left foot. Right knee down. Lift the chin, look forwards. And then lift the back knee up, step forwards, Uttanasana, Urdhva Hastasana, arms up, Tadasana, Namaskar. Bring the weight a little back to the heels. Catch your breath. Hope that was okay for you. Just take a moment and look this way. I said when we came to Chaturanga Dandasana, I said, do Chaturanga if that's available to you. Now, if it's not possible for you to stay here in Chaturanga Dandasana, you can bring yourself down, lower yourself down to the floor, and then come up to upward facing dog. But when you come to upward facing dog, having gone down again, having gone down beforehand, lowered yourself down, you've got to really see that you work your legs to protect your back. So as you come up off the floor, that you're not letting your knees bend and sag. You're really hitting those front thighs up and stretching to the heels to protect your spine. Okay, so do lower yourself down to the floor if you can't stay in chaturanga, no problem. So we'll start again. Be in Tadasana. Inhale, arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. Stretch up, palms facing each other. Exhale, swing forwards, Uttanasana. Take the head down. Bend the knees, hands down. Now left foot, big step back. Bring the back knee down to the floor. Lift the chin, look up, look forwards. If your arms are feeling very short, you can be right on the fingertips. I'm right on the fingertips here. That enables me to lower myself comfortably down, abdomen to thigh. If you've got bricks, you could even have bricks for both hands. Give a little bit more height, little bit more support. Now, lift the back knee up. Step back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. High plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Breathe. Firm legs. Draw the thighs up. Push yourself away from your hands. And then join both feet together. And take a big step forwards with that right foot. Ground the left knee. Look up, look forwards. And then lift the back knee up. Step the other foot forwards. Head down. Uttanasana. Urdhva Hastasana. Tadasana. Namaskar. Breathe. Feel the flow of the prana through the body, through the legs, through the spine, the chest. Tadasana. Urdhva Hastasana. Uttanasana. Bend the knees, hands down, right foot step back, ground the back, ground the knee, lift the head, look up, look forwards. And now step the left foot back, Adho Mukha Svanasana, high plank, chaturanga, Urdhva Mukha, Adho Mukha. Breathe. Join both feet together. Big step forwards with the left foot. Bring the right knee down. Lift the chin. Look forwards. And now push off that right foot. Uttanasana. Urdhva Hastasana. Tadasana. Namaskar. Steady breath. Urdhva Hastasana. Uttanasana. Bend the knees, hands down, left foot back. Bring the back knee down, look up, look forwards, lift the chin. Right foot step back. Down dog. High plank, chaturanga, Urdhva Mukha, Adho Mukha. Breathe. Join both feet together. Big step forwards with the left foot. Bring the back knee down. Lift the chin. And then step the right foot forwards. Head down. Inhale up. Urdhva Hastasana. Tadasana. Namaskar. Okay. We're going to do another round. Stand in Tadasana. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, Uttanasana. Bend the knees, hands down, step the left foot back. Bring the knee down, lift the chin. Right foot step back. Downward facing dog. High plank. Through to Chaturanga, Urdhva Mukha, Adho Mukha. Breathe. Join both feet together. Big step forwards with the left foot. Round the right knee. Lift the chin. And then step forwards. Uttanasana, head down. Urdhva Hastasana. Tadasana. Namaskar. Final side. Inhale. Urdhva Hastasana. Uttanasana. Inhale, look up. Big step back with the left foot. Bring the back knee down, that left knee down. Lift the chin, look up, look forwards. Both hands down, step the right foot back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. High plank. Chaturanga. Urdhva Mukha. Adho Mukha. Breathe. Firm the arms, firm the legs. Lift the hip bones up high. Sitting bones lifting. And then join both feet together. Big step forwards with the right foot. Bring the back knee down. Lift the chin. And then step forwards. Head down. Now stay there for a few counts with the head down. Really pull up the back of the thighs, the backs of the knees. And then inhale. And come up. And be in Tadasana. Catch your breath. Feel the clarity, the vitality through the legs, the trunk, quietness in the head, the face. Good. And then relax. Okay. So I hope you're feeling okay, feeling revitalized, feeling awake. So we're going to do Prasarita Padottanasana now. So you might need some support for your hands. I'll show you the pose, and then you can make a decision as to what you need. Now remember, classical yoga props aren't always necessary. When I go on holiday, or if I'm in a hotel or a new space, I love to find what I can to get creative. Stools, sides of beds, sofa cushions, everything can be used to bring comfort and ease to the body in the pose. It's not just yoga props that can do it. So have a watch. Knee pain, back pain, you can step the feet apart rather than jump. So it can be a challenge to bring the hands down onto the floor with the upper back concave. So I'll show you from the sides. So if when you bring your hands down onto the floor under your shoulders, your back is like this, or perhaps you're stuck up here and you can't quite reach the floor, then take some support. So bricks, I've got a couple of bricks here, which I can use to help me to get a straight spine. They bridge the gap between my hands and the floor if I can't reach the floor. Or even you can use a chair, a stool. To arrive in the pose. Perhaps this is preferable, or this. Yeah, if the back is very stiff or the hamstrings are very stiff, you can work here. You want to see that the legs are straight in the pose. So take whatever you need that enable you to keep the legs straight. So we'll go together. So many of you just now have done a check to see what you need, to get a sense of what you need and have those supports ready. If you're not sure, you can have a couple of things ready to the side in case you want to make a judgment call when you're in the pose. So hands alongside the body, Tadasana. Then bring the hands in front of the chest, bend the knees, step or jump. Press the out steps of the feet down, hit the inner thighs out, grip the hips. So I'm just using my hands to indicate to you where you're working. Doesn't mean you have to bring your hands there as well. So hips are gripped, inner thighs are lifting out. So you're using the muscles of the legs themselves to produce that action. Stretch the chest broad to the fingertips. And now bring the hands onto the hips. With an inhalation, take the face up towards the ceiling, lengthen the front body. Exhale, swing forwards, look up, look forwards. Lengthen the spine forwards, keep the thighs firm, and then bring the hands down underneath your shoulders. So if you need some support here, then this is your moment to use your supports. Now here with hands on bricks or hands to the floor, press into that support to move the upper back in. I'm showing you the side view so it's clear. So I pressurize my hands to move the shoulder blades in. So see the action, I go from here to this. My arms are straight, the upper back is compact. Lift the chin, lift the gaze. Legs firm, thighs firm. Breathe. Try not to let the hips move too much forwards or too much backwards. So the hips and the feet are in line with each other. Smooth breath. Good. Now firm the legs, bring the hands onto the hips. Inhale, come up and step the feet together. Tadasana. Okay. Now we'll go again. This time you're going to go further down into the pose. So I'll show you. If it was already quite a lot of work, then stay here. So what I mean by that is if it was feeling taxing for the inner thighs, yeah, the groins, perhaps the hamstrings, the back, then stay in this pose and work here. It's a very beneficial position to work on moving this upper back in, yeah, not this, but to work on this action is beneficial. Okay, so don't worry if you can't do the next pose. You can stay here. Now, if you do want to go further, we'll go from here with the head lifted to then walking the hands back between the feet and taking the head down towards the floor. We're bringing the crown of the head towards the floor. Now, it doesn't matter if the crown of the head doesn't quite reach the floor. Maybe you're more like here. That's fine. But let the head come down. Don't keep it up. Head down. Then to come out, inhale, lift the head, look forwards, and come up. Okay, so let's do that together. So front Tadasana. Stand tall. Utthita Hasta Padasana. Hands on the hips. Inhale, lift the head. Exhale, swing forwards. Hands under the shoulders. Lift the head again. Cut the upper back in, dorsal spine in. You can stay here if you're working on that concavity of the upper back. And now with your next exhalation, let the head come down, crown of the head to the floor. Keep the legs very strong, very firm. Legs straight. Take a few breaths here. See if you can be more on the back of the top of the head. And then inhale, lift the head. Walk the hands forwards. Firm the legs. Inhale, come up. And step the feet together. Tadasana. Good. In Tadasana, fix your gaze a little above eye level and let your chest match that height. Grow tall from inside. Good. And then relax. Okay, so what we'll do now is a few standing poses before we begin to wind down at the end of the class. We're going to look at triangle pose. So from your Tadasana, you can either jump or step, the legs wide, not quite as wide as the previous pose. Stretch the arms to the side, extend to the fingertips, firm the legs, bring the back foot a little in, and turn the right foot 90 degrees out. So have the heel of the right foot in line with the arch of the back foot, shoulders down, chest up, and with an exhalation, bring the hand down to the shin, left arm up and over for triangle pose. Smooth, steady breath. Try not to let the knee of that front leg bend. Keep the thighs drawing up. Left arm active and stretching away to turn the chest up. Now reach into the left fingertips. Inhale, come up. Other side. Turn the right foot a little in, turn the left foot out. When you turn that left foot out, you want to really roll the whole thigh from in to out. So sometimes you can re-bend that right knee a little and move, the left knee a little, and move the left knee back and turn the whole of the thigh from in to out. Good, so that the knee is pointing towards the toes. Arms wide, shoulders over the hips. Exhale, triangle pose. If you're unsure what to do with the head, you can look straight forwards or turn the face up towards the right fingertips. If balance is a little bit of an issue, then look down towards the left foot. That helps to bring more earth element to the pose. It's grounding. Inhale, reach to the right fingertips to come up. Turn the foot to face forwards. Jump the legs together. Back to Tadasana. Virabhadrasana 2. Bring the hands in front of the chest. Bend knees. Jump. Shoulders down, chest tall, legs firm. Turn the back foot a little in. Turn the right foot out. Again, you can bend the right knee a little and turn the thigh from in to out. Knee pointing towards the toes. And then with an exhalation, bend the knee to warrior 2. Try not to fall towards your right fingertips. So stretch back into the left fingertips so that the shoulders are balanced over the hips. Smooth, steady breath. With an exhalation, turn the head and look towards the right fingertips. Good job. Press into the back foot to come up. Turn that right foot in, left foot completely from in to out. Roll the left thigh from in to out. Exhale. Bend the knee to warrior 2. Keep the arms steady, gripped. Shoulders over the hips. Exhale, look towards the left fingertips. Look down the bridge of the nose. Steady breath. Press into the back foot. Inhale to come up. Turn the foot to face forwards. Back to Tadasana. Stand in Tadasana. Be firm through the feet. So spread the feet, spread the toes. So it's like you're ironing out the underside of the feet or unrolling a carpet. Let the underside of the feet be broad and spread. For a moment, you can even lift the toes up to bring the weight more back to the heels. And then when you feel that the front thighs went back and you're more towards the heels, so I'll show you the difference, then you can let the toes relax down. Actively stretch the arms towards the floor and lift the chest up. Fix your gaze a little above eye level. Let the breath return to normal. Okay, we'll do Utthita Parshvakonasana, hands in front of the chest, bend the knees, jump. Turn the left foot a little in, turn the right foot completely out. And then bend the right knee. So as you did before, moving through Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. And now let the right forearm come down onto the thigh. Bring the left arm up and over. Turn the chest up towards the ceiling. So rotate the abdomen, rotate the spine up. If it's difficult for you to get that action, you can keep your left hand on your hip and turn the left hip back. Turn the left shoulder back. Keep that back leg firm and steady. And then once you have the turn, you can bring the arm up and over. Good. Press into the left foot, inhale to come up. Turn in on that back foot. Other side. Shoulders down, chest up. Virabhadrasana 2 to Parshvakonasana. Arm onto the thigh. Keep the right hand on the hip. Turn the right hip bone back. Turn the right shoulder back. Turn the chest up. And then take the arm up and overhead. You can keep the gaze straight forwards. Good. Inhale, come up. Straighten the leg. Jump the legs back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, hands down. Step back. Stretch the back up towards the hips. Press the frontal thighs back. Pull the front thighs up. Be firm through your hands. And bend the knees. Sit back on your heels. Child's pose. If the arms feel fatigued, you can take the arms back alongside the body with the palms facing up. And then inhale and come up. Okay, so we're going to finish with a little bit of floor-based work. You might want to have a blanket next to you, and if you've got a belt, some kind of belt, that would be handy. It can be the belt from like a toweling robe, a dressing gown, as I said, a ribbon or just a leather belt. And then you can have your blanket. And I'll show you what we'll be working on. We'll be doing Urdhva Prasarita Padasana, which is where we take the legs up into the air. So I start by sitting on my mat with my knees bent, feet flat. And I look down the line of my body to see that I'm positioned straight on the mat. And then I lie down. Now from here, you can either hold the sides of the mat, or if you feel more able to hold this pose and you want additional challenge, you can take the arms up and overhead and hold your elbows, or alternatively, if you've got space, you can stretch your arms back. I don't quite have space here, but you stretch your arms back with the back of the hands on the floor. I'm going to show the simple version. So I'm on my back and I raise my legs up to 90. Okay. Now, if one is very tight in the hamstrings or there's lower back issues, it might, to take the legs up, might be difficult to take the legs up to 90 degrees. So you might find that when you take the legs up, they're somewhere here, maybe they're a little bent and you're working on straightening the legs. Yeah, or maybe even there down here, you can bring the legs to here with straight legs, but not to 90. It's not that we take the legs beyond 90. This isn't what we're doing. So we're working maybe from here to try to eventually have the legs here. But the most important thing is that we're working with straight legs. Okay, now if that's challenging for you and the hamstrings feel very tight, whole body is shaking, maybe it's uncomfortable for your lower back, then you can place a foam pad or a blanket underneath your lower back. And then what you'll find is it's a little easier to straighten the legs and bring them to this L-shaped position. So do take what you need. Don't force the body. Okay, so I'm going to use a little bit of support here, just to bring a bit of softness for my lower back. So from bent knees, take the legs up. See if you can straighten your legs. You can perhaps take the arms up and over or keep the arms alongside the body, depending on your capacity. Sometimes even you can hold the sides of the mat if it's feeling very strong. And roll the thighs in and stretch the heels up. Try to have both knees pointing towards you, facing towards you. Good, so you might be feeling it in the thighs, in the groins, the abdomen. See if you can hold there for a few counts. And then bend the knees and plant the feet flat. We're just having a pause. Have a little rest. If that was okay for you, if that was accessible, then you can try arms up and over. Now again, lift the feet up and straighten the legs. Roll the thighs in. Spread the toes, spread the feet. Suck the frontal thighs, the fronts of the thighs to the bone. Can you hold for a few counts? Good job. Bend the knees, release. Okay, we'll go once more. If you're holding your elbows, change the cross. If you're feeling tired, then rest. Just stay with knees bent, feet flat. No need to force the body. Okay, once more. Legs up. Spread the feet. Tighten the knees and thighs. Roll the thighs in. Can you hold for 10 seconds more? Challenge yourself. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend the knees, feet flat. Nice, good. All right, so you can remove that blanket now. Just let the lower back be flat to the floor if you're using a blanket or a block. And I'll show you the next pose that we're doing. So if you have a belt, you can use a belt. Yeah, if you can take hold of your ankles and do the pose, Chatushpadasana, then you can. But if it's difficult for you to hold your ankles or you get stuck, you can't quite lift when you hold your ankles, then you can use a belt around the front of the ankles. Now you'll see my ankles, my feet aren't joined. My feet are hip width apart, not together. I hold the belt or my front ankles and I roll my arms. Do you see I'm rolling my elbow crease out? And did you see what that did to my chest? Before it was a bit flat, yeah, like a pancake. And now it's lifting, it's open. So roll the eye of the elbow out and then lift the buttocks up, lift the back thigh up. This is Chatushpadasana, four-footed pose. If you didn't, and hold the pose if you're there, but if you didn't find a belt, you can hold the sides of the mat. So it will be slightly different, but if you couldn't find a belt today and you can't hold your ankles, no problem. Just go like this, holding the sides of the mat. Okay, release and come down. We'll go once more. So get a good grip at the front of the ankles or hold your belt well. The arm should be completely straight. Turn the eye of the elbow out and then inhale
Lift up, lift the back thigh up, lift the buttocks up, squeeze the buttocks up towards the ceiling. Can you move the back ribs in, the shoulder blades in to bring the chest towards the chin? Hold for a few more counts. Good. And then release. Come down. Lie there for a few moments with knees bent, feet flat. And then you can stretch your legs away, see that you have room. It's better if the whole body is on the mat, not feet off the mat and body on the mat, but the whole body is on the mat. If you want to use a blanket under your head, you can take a blanket. If you want to put some socks on, some warm layers, you can do that. Hands can rest on the body, on the abdomen, or arms to the side if you have space. That's preferable, with palms turned upwards. Close the eyes and take the gaze within. Relax the jaw, relax the facial features. Release the brain and the skull. With your exhalations, let go, let loose completely. And now I'm going to leave you there, resting in Shavasana. Take as long as you need to rest and absorb the effects of the practice. I'll see you next time.